For me, he was a great friend, had a lot of good friends in the school system, unselfish, hard worker, respected his opponents, and everyone had do whatever it takes from practice to whatever to be your best, push teammates, real team-oriented, brought people up when they were down, motivated them to realize that they could be better. A real prime example of the things you need to do and the attitude you need to have to reach the goals that you want to make as an athlete. He was a great example for me, just was always there like a big brother. There was just 4 of us in '78 that went to the state finals. It was before they had the team things. So there was just Andre and Bob Schock, Bud Robinson and I, and we ended up with just 4 of us still being the state runner-up through advancement points and win points and pinpoints on how they used to do it. We still managed to be state runner-ups that year. His dad did a lot of things over and above for all the kids to get kids together. Originated the wrestling program for Cedar Springs. Doesn't forget his roots and his friends and teammates from here. Always have some kind of get-togethers when he comes, and usually every summer he'll come into town. And we always have a big get-together and just reminisce and talk about old times. He didn't start wrestling until he was a freshman. Got him in to get away from basketball and have him come up and wrestle, and he just took a shine into it and moved on from there and just continued to thrive in it. 3 years ago, was inducted in the USA Wrestling Hall of Fame. Second best collegiate win percentage in wrestling in college. Dan Gable had a loss his senior year. Andre only had 2 losses. Through conversations with Andre and the guys that were at the inductee, there was a coach that made a little speech about him and said that he was probably one of the most feared collegiate wrestlers of his time. Pan American gold medals, world championships, national championships, fair amount of those through USA Wrestling and AAU Wrestling, a vast amount of some of your highest accomplishments in amateur sports. He never did go, he qualified. That was the year that they boycotted because of the Russian invasion, but he qualified for the Olympic team that year, never had the opportunity to actually wrestle. One thing that I always remember is when wrestling with him, I was a 98-pounder, and before every match, he'd shake my hand before I went on the mat and slap me in the face just to get me ready. That's one thing he always did with me, just shake my hand, give me a slap on the face, and tell me to go get him.